Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the idea of change? Like you know you need to make improvements, but it all just feels too much? Here's the good news. Lasting transformation doesn't happen all at once. It starts with small, intentional steps.
That's right, Kevin. Today we're talking about how small habits can lead to big changes. Whether you're looking to improve your health, strengthen your faith, or build deeper relationships, this episode will show you how to take that first step and keep going.
Welcome to Iron Strengthens Iron, where faith, wellness, and biblical truths unite to help men lead stronger, healthier, and more purposeful lives. I'm Dr. Kevin T. Hattaway, a family physician.
And I'm Dr. Michael E. Hattaway, a clinical psychologist. Today we're diving into the power of habits, how small, consistent actions can transform every area of your life. Kevin, I think this is a topic that resonates with everyone, no matter where they are on their journey.
Absolutely, Michael. Change can feel overwhelming, but when you break it down into manageable steps, it becomes a lot more doable and sustainable. Our anchor scripture today is Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. This verse reminds us that growth starts with the little things. Being faithful in the small tasks prepares us for the bigger ones.
I love that perspective, Kevin. It's easy to overlook the small steps, thinking they don't matter. But as we'll discuss today, those little, consistent efforts can lead to profound changes over time.
Let's start by talking about why small steps are so powerful. Michael, I think a lot of people assume that to make a big change, they need to take big actions right away. But that's not how real transformation works, is it?
Not at all, Kevin. In fact, research shows that small, consistent changes are far more effective in creating lasting habits. It's what we call behavioral momentum. When you start small and experience small wins, you build confidence, and that motivates you to keep going.
That's so true. I often tell my patients, don't focus on the mountain, just take the first step. Whether it's improving your health, deepening your faith, or strengthening your relationships, small actions pave the way for big results.
When we think about habits, it's easy to focus on the practical side, like waking up early or exercising. But habits are deeply spiritual too. They're about stewardship, using the time, energy, and resources God has given us wisely.
Exactly. Whether it's committing to daily prayer, attending church regularly, or simply being present with your family, every small act of faithfulness strengthens your relationship with God and others.
Kevin, when we think about habits from a faith perspective, they're really about stewardship. God has given us time, energy, and resources, and it's our responsibility to use them wisely.
Exactly. And it's not just about managing those resources, it's about aligning them with God's purposes for our lives. For example, making time for prayer or scripture reading each day may seem small, but it can have a huge impact on your spiritual growth.
Absolutely. Habits like these not only draw us closer to God, but also equip us to better serve others. It's a ripple effect. Small acts of faithfulness lead to bigger opportunities to glorify God.
From a medical perspective, habits are incredibly powerful. Research shows that 40% of what we do daily is driven by habits, not conscious decisions. That means creating the right habits can improve your health, reduce stress, and even increase longevity.
And Kevin, from a psychological angle, habits create what's called automaticity. When something like brushing your teeth becomes second nature, it frees up mental energy for other important decisions.
That's a great point, Michael. So by starting small and building consistent routines, we can create habits that lead to long-term health and well-being. Habits are crucial for maintaining health. Studies show that nearly half of what we do every day is driven by habits, not deliberate choices. That means creating the right habits can significantly impact your physical and mental well-being.
That's fascinating, Kevin. So, something as simple as drinking a glass of water every morning or walking for 10 minutes a day can lead to noticeable improvements in health over time.
Exactly. Small, consistent actions like these reduce stress, improve energy levels, and even lower the risk of chronic conditions like heart disease. It's all about building routines that support your overall well-being. Let's review how to create habits that actually stick. Here are a few practical steps. Start small. Focus on one habit at a time. For example, start with 10 minutes of daily movement instead of committing to an hour-long workout. Make it specific. Turn vague goals into clear actions. Instead of saying, I want to pray more, set a goal like, I'll pray for 5 minutes every morning.
Adding to that, attach your habit to an existing routine. For instance, if you're trying to read scripture daily, do it right after brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. Track your progress. Keeping a habit tracker or journal can help you stay motivated and see how far you've come.
One more. Celebrate small wins. Each step forward is worth recognizing, no matter how small. Let's break this down into practical steps. Here's how to create habits that actually stick. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you're trying to exercise, start with 5 push-ups or a 10-minute walk. Be specific. Turn vague goals into clear actions. Instead of saying, I want to get healthier, say, I'll eat 1 serving of vegetables at lunch every day.
Those are great tips, Kevin. I'd also add, anchor your new habit to an existing one. For example, if you want to pray daily, do it right after brushing your teeth. Track your progress. Use a journal or app to hold yourself accountable. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating.
And don't forget, celebrate your wins no matter how small. Each step forward is a step toward your goal.
Kevin, have you heard of the 1% rule? It's the idea that if you improve by just 1% every day, those small gains compound over time. It's a powerful principle that applies to faith, fitness, and even relationships.
Absolutely. In fact, I think of Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. It's about consistent effort, little by little, day by day.
So if you're overwhelmed by the idea of change, remember this. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just focus on being 1% better today than you were yesterday. Kevin, the 1% rule. It's the idea that if you improve by just 1% daily, those small gains compound into something incredible over time.
That's such a powerful concept, Michael. Consistency and steady effort really do pay off in the long run.
And the best part, the 1% rule can apply to every area of your life, your faith, health, career, and relationships. It's a simple but profound way to approach growth. Let's talk about a common struggle, getting discouraged when you miss a day or don't see results right away. It's important to remember that setbacks are normal, but they don't define your progress.
That's so true. I often tell my patients, focus on progress, not perfection. If you miss a day, don't give up. Just pick up where you left off. Consistency over time is what leads to transformation.
Exactly. And remember, your habits are tools. They're not your identity. Missing a day doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human.
Let's be real. Building habits isn't always easy. Michael, what advice would you give to someone who feels discouraged after missing a day or struggling to stay consistent?
That's such an important question, Kevin. First, I'd remind them that setbacks are normal. Missing a day or two doesn't mean you've failed. It just means you're human. What matters is getting back on track.
That's so true. I often tell my patients, progress, not perfection. Focus on the progress you've made instead of dwelling on the days you missed.
Exactly. And remember, habits are about long-term growth. Even small efforts over time can lead to big results. Another common struggle is the all-or-nothing trap. The belief that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But that mindset can be so limiting.
Absolutely. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for consistency. Even a 5-minute prayer or a 10-minute walk is better than doing nothing at all.
And over time, those small efforts add up, so don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Focus on showing up. Many of us fall into the all-or-nothing trap when building habits.
Right, Michael. Even small efforts done imperfectly are better than no effort at all. It's about showing up, not being perfect.
So true. Start small and let God work through your faithfulness.
Michael, if there's one thing I'd want our listeners to take away from today, it's this. Growth isn't about dramatic leaps. It's about small, faithful steps, and God honors those steps.
Absolutely, Kevin. Remember, you're not doing this alone. God is with you, guiding and strengthening you every step of the way. Trust the process and keep moving forward.
Let's talk about some spiritual habits that can strengthen your faith. Daily prayer, set aside 5 to 10 minutes to connect with God. Scripture reading, start with a short passage or devotional plan. Gratitude journaling, write down 3 things you're thankful for each day.
Those are great, Kevin. I'd also add Sabbath rest, set aside 1 day a week to unplug and focus on God. Community. Make it a habit to attend church or a small group regularly. Spiritual growth happens best in community. Remember, growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step you take is a step toward becoming the man God created you to be.
And don't forget, you're not doing this alone. God's Spirit is with you, guiding and strengthening you every step of the way. Today, we explored the power of small steps, how to build habits that last, and the role of faith in creating meaningful change. We also shared practical tips to help you stay consistent even when challenges arise. We explored the science of habit formation and how faith plays a central role in growth. We also shared practical strategies for building lasting habits.
Next time, we'll discuss building stronger relationships through intentional connection and communication. You won't want to miss it.
As always, this podcast is for educational purposes and isn't a substitute for professional advice. If you're facing challenges, seek support from a counselor or pastor.
Thank you for joining us on this faith, strength, and brotherhood journey. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who needs encouragement today. For more inspiration, check out our YouTube channel at Iron Strengthens Iron. Until next time, keep strengthening, stay resilient, and remember, as iron strengthens iron, one man strengthens another.